The ice cracked beneath Mira's boots as she sprinted across the frozen lake of Epsilon 7, her breath forming clouds in the alien world's frigid atmosphere. The distress beacon had pulled her from her survey duties, but nothing could have prepared her for what she found thrashing in the dark water where the ice had given way. It looked like a wolf pup if wolves had midnight blue fur that shimmered with bioluminescent patterns and eyes that glowed like twin moons. The creature was drowning, its small body fighting against the current that pulled it beneath the jagged ice shelf. Mira didn't hesitate. Her crewmates always said she acted before thinking. But as she dove into the water, the cold stealing her breath, she knew she couldn't live with herself if she didn't try. The water was so cold it felt like knives. Her thermal suit would only protect her for minutes before hypothermia set in. Mira swam hard, her arms cutting through the water until her fingers found fur. The pup struggled in her grip, terrified and desperate. She kicked upward, lungs burning, muscles screaming. They broke the surface together. Mira hauled herself and the creature onto solid ice, coughing and shaking. The pup lay still, too still. Without thinking, she began compressions on its small chest, counting like they'd taught her in academy training. 15 compressions, 2 breaths. Again. The pup convulsed and coughed up water, its luminescent markings flickering like a dying star before blazing back to life. Those strange eyes fixed on Mira, and she could have sworn she saw understanding there, gratitude. Even. "You're okay," she whispered, her teeth chattering. "You're going to be okay." Then she heard them. The howls. They came from everywhere and nowhere, echoing across the ice fields. Mira looked up to see them emerging from the tree line. Massive wolves, each the size of a small shuttle, their fur rippling with the same bioluminescent patterns. 20, 30, maybe more. Their eyes glowed in the darkness, fixed on her and the small pup she'd saved. Mira's hand moved to her sidearm, then stopped. She was already dead, if they wanted her dead. Running was pointless. Fighting was suicide. The largest wolf approached, its shoulder easily twice Mira's height. Its fur was silver white, marked with intricate glowing patterns that seemed to tell a story in light. The alpha. It had to be. The wolf lowered its massive head, sniffing the pup. Then it looked at Mira, and she saw something that made her breath catch intelligence. Pure, undeniable intelligence. The pup core, she decided to call it, stumbled to its feet and pressed against Mira's leg, shivering. The alpha's eyes narrowed. "I didn't hurt him," Mira said, knowing they probably couldn't understand her but needing to speak anyway. "He was drowning. I couldn't let him die." The alpha studied her for what felt like an eternity. Then it did something that would change everything humanity thought they knew about Epsilon 7. It bowed. Not just its head, its entire massive body lowered in a gesture of unmistakable respect. One by one, the other wolves followed suit. 30 massive predators bowing to a single shivering human who'd done nothing more than what her heart demanded. Core yipped and bounded toward the alpha, who nuzzled the pup gently before looking back at Mira. The alpha approached slowly, deliberately, until it stood directly before her. Then it pressed its massive forehead against her chest, right over her heart. Warmth flooded through Mira, not physical warmth, though that came too, but something deeper. Images flashed through her mind. The pack, hunting together, protecting their young, mourning their dead. She saw Core falling through the ice. Saw the pack's desperation as the current carried him away too fast for them to reach. She saw herself diving into the water, a strange alien creature risking death for a child not her own, and she understood. They were showing her what they were, what she'd done, what it meant. The alpha pulled back, and something glinted in the starlight. Around its neck hung a collar of woven metal and crystal, clearly crafted by intelligent hands or paws. The alpha touched one of the crystals with its nose, and it began to glow. A voice filled Mira's mind, ancient and deep. "You saved our future. We will not forget." Core bounded back to Mira and pressed something into her hand with his mouth, a crystal like the one on the alpha's collar, still warm. The pup's thoughts were clearer, younger, filled with fierce loyalty. My pack now. Your pack now. Always. Mira watched, stunned, as the wolves turned and melted back into the forest. All except Kor, who sat beside her like a guardian, his small body radiating protective determination. She looked down at the crystal in her hand, then at the pup at Kor, her pack brother now. Her radio crackled to life with her crew's concerned voices, asking why she'd gone silent, why her vital signs had gone haywire. Mira smiled, feeling the warmth still radiating from the crystal, seeing the patterns on Kor's fur pulse in rhythm with her own heartbeat. Humanity had been on Epsilon 7 for 3 years, thinking themselves alone. They'd been wrong, and now, because one human had jumped into freezing water for a drowning child not her own, because she'd acted on instinct and compassion rather than calculation and fear, everything was about to change. The wolves weren't animals. They were people. And Mira had just become the first human to be adopted into their pack not through conquest or trade, but through the simple act of caring enough to risk everything for someone small and helpless and afraid. As Kor howled into the night, his voice young but strong, Mira heard the answering calls from the forest, dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of voices welcoming her home. She pressed the crystal to her chest and howled back,